I deal with the babies. I have an after-school program, and I work with kids 6 to 14, and it seems to be expanding up to 17. We don't turn anybody away. But I believe in family and community, so I do a number of free community events. We just did Grilling in the Mall, and I love the blues. So we just did a blues festival over in Hamilton in June. We have 7 days of Kwanzaa starting December 26th through January 1st throughout the city. Keep an eye out for our Kwanzaa celebration that's coming up. We have 7 days of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. We have already 10 events scheduled. So keep an eye out for that. But tonight we are here to honor 3 community members and my mom, since it's my party. And so without further ado, I want to bring up Lance Burton.
And I think you should pay me.
Because I'm a woman. Okay, Lance is going to present the awards. But this evening we are honoring Miss Betty Hammond. Miss Betty, please. Miss Espanola Jackson, one of my favorite people. And do we have anybody from Miss Lizzy Westbrook's family here? We're also honoring Miss Lizzy Westbrook, who passed recently, so we felt it was very appropriate, given all that she has done for the city of San Francisco, to add her to the list. Before I go any further and turn this over to Lance, I didn't do this by myself. And unfortunately, they're not here to get the credit. There is a wonderful person, Antoine Moore from the Bayview Y. And he has been extremely supportive of my efforts. My grandbaby says, I roll without funds. I roll without money. The way that I get things done is because I believe in a village. And so there's been a collaborative effort to present this award. Somebody paid for a band, somebody paid for the food, so it's a lot of somebodies, and I'd like to acknowledge them before we get started, and I'm going to turn this over to Lance. And is Ross here?
Yeah, can I get this to he didn't know that you guys were starting, so he's out there, doing it mingling, okay?
And tell him to chase that Mac, he loves Mac and cheese. Okay, so I'm the Village Project, and the Bayview Y, Darbu is someplace running around. He's outside, but the Bayview Y gave us the funding for this, the major funding. So they are also the co-sponsors of the 7 Days of Kwanzaa, and they also co-sponsored the Grilling in the Mo, our blues concert. Additionally, we have the Fillmore Center Plaza, Cyril. Mr. Cyril DeFazio, please come in. Thank you to Cyril DeFazio from the Fillmore Center, which is right across the street. And we have Peter, who has never said no to me. Peter Fitzsimmons, I love it.
What you want?
Peter Fitzsimmons from the Jazz Heritage Center, Lush Life Gallery. This is his. Please come back. This is a wonderful space. I love being here. It's just like being in Marcus's Bookstore, one of my other favorite places. We also have the Western Addition Family Resource Center, which is also a part of the Y. Mr. Cessna Crawford in the back there. Hey, Cessna. We have Planet Fillmore, and that's Lance running around with the camera. Lance Burton. Gussie's Chicken and Waffles. Try out Gussie's Chicken and Waffles. I'm biased. My baby is the manager over there. Oh, and I have a gift certificate. Later on, we're going to raffle off a gift certificate to Gussie's. West Bay Conference Center, who allowed us to use their kitchen, and Gussie's also extended one of their cooks to us. Marcus Garvey Housing Development. Any of them, I think they got here late, so they're probably outside eating. St. Cyprian's Episcopal Church. That's where our after-school program is based. They give us free space to take care of the babies. The Fillmore Neighborhood Association, I worked him today. He set up all these chairs and tables and all of that. So that is Virginia Crawford and the Fillmore, the Lower Fillmore Neighborhood Association. And I have to say my fifth agent, Renaissance Parents of Success. They handle all the finances, a little bit of finances. And the grant was donated to us by the Department of Public Health. So thanks to all my partners. We're going to proceed with the program. Lance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is too hot up here. Besides, I got to go clean up.
All right.
Okay, there we go. Yes, and I'll do my mom's, okay?
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight. Wonderful, good-looking group of folks here. No senior moments in this crowd. Bobby Webb's in the house back there. Mr. Ken Johnson on video camera back there. I see a lot of folks that I know from the era. There's Mr. Peter Fitzsimmons hanging out, chopping on some salmon. Well, we got a great band. Oh, we got some dignitaries in the house in the music field here. So there's something that Adrian is tugging at my arm, wanting to say. She said, all right, you know, I'm a longtime resident of San Francisco, and I grew up right here in the Fillmore, as I'm sure a lot of folks in this room did. And when we talk about senior moments, it's really joyous to know that there are a lot of folks that are still around from back in that era. People who may remember. I'll find out just how long you've been around here. When I say Mayor Angelo Rossi, Mayor Ralph Parham, Mayor Robinson. Mayor Robinson. No Mayor Robinsons? Well, he came just before George Christopher. Yes. How about Mayor Shelley? Okay, now we're finding out when the babies were born. All right, okay. Joe Alioto, of course, we all know Joe Alioto. Yeah, but that's another lesson. All right, then we'll go back to let's go to the music tip. All right, so many of you all remember Al Hibbert, I'm sure. Used to hang out down at Leola's Blue Mirror. The Blue Mirror was a spot. I can see some of y'all are dressed sharp enough to get into Miss Leola King's Blue Mirror on a Blue Monday night. Yeah, that's what we're bringing back. We're bringing back Blue Mondays on Fillmore. You all remember the Cremolin Ballroom, the Ellis Street Theater. Yeah, the Supper Club, Plantation Supper Club. Miss Espanola probably remembers the Cotton Club. She was too young to be in there, but she was in there anyway. Hamilton Playground. Yeah, oh yeah. So what was the hit songs of the day? I think, let me see. Let me think. Ramblin' Rose. Y'all come on, sing along with me. Ramblin' Rose, why you ramble? No one knows. Yeah, all right. The night was cold and the moon was yellow, and the leaves came tumbling. Hey, yeah, Stagger Lee, shut up, Billy. Oh, he shot that boy so bad. Yeah. Frankie and Johnny were sweethearts. At least that's the way the story goes. Yeah, you know that one. Oh, come on, girl. You know, it's only a medley. You can't sing the whole song. Come on now. I ain't got that kind of voice. Jesus.
Let me see if there's a place.
We're having a party. Yeah. Everybody's swinging. Yeah. Dancing to the music. On the radio. Having a party. up-and-coming pair of sons. You all may have seen them because one of them was on TV. Well, Mr. Merritt, let's see, what was that all about? Tell us a little bit. Come on now, I'll get you on the spot.
I see. Come on in, Jill.
So I have one son that plays drums with a group called Pop Life. It's on NBC, America's Got Talent. And they're in Las Vegas right now and been hosted by the Jerry Springer's going to host the show. They're in Vegas for 3 days and they're performing. And another son named Ranzel Merritt plays saxophone. Just got a full scholarship, the John Henry Scholarship. All right. Thank God. Thank you, man.
San Francisco State.
Oh yeah, San Francisco State. San Francisco State.
They are terrific.
They are.
Pop Life they terrific. We've seen them in person and they are dynamite.
They're dynamite.
Yes.
They are.
They are, I look at the bookstore, Marcus Bookstore a lot. And a lot of folks come in, they want to know what's going on. They want to know what happened here. They want to know who are the people here. And I always let them know that Marcus Bookstore was once Bop City. And as it was Bop City, everybody that you can think of from that era who was anybody that came from the East Coast, came from the South, came to play blues. But then they convened in Bop City in the back room of Jimbo's Chicken and Waffle Shop, and they jammed together and they created spiritual music that rolled on out for a lot of folks as the top music of the day. Everybody from Miles to Mingus to Monk to Milt Jackson to you name them, Billy, Ella, Sarah, who was it, Bobby Webb. If it happened in Fillmore, Bobby Webb knew about it. What is it? Who was it, Bobby? Who was it? Dinah. Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
Duke Coltrane. That's right. Johnny Mathis. That's right. You know, and what I keep telling folks is that what we have to look out for, and Lady Memphis would know this because she's familiar with, seeds. So, because she's got a seed of her own running around here, little Robert Henry Johnson putting on artwork and music and plays and readings and historical tributes and all that kind of thing. But those folks didn't come through the Fillmore, just drop down at Bop City and leave. They dropped some seeds. There are some seeds in this community that we may not even be aware of, and there's some talent that we are trying to groom and blossom into some, and Mr. Merritt here has a couple of those blossoms that are really fantastic. If you see the names, Merritt, Denzel, Renzel, you want to run, don't walk, run to catch them. And I can tell you, when we talk about grooming, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the name of Miss Dee Spencer over here hiding in the corner behind that little keyboard. She tries to pretend like, I'm just here, she's very private. She protects her privacy. But this sister, you guys, everybody knows Burl Toller. Everybody remembers Ben Franklin. Yeah, and Girls High. Well, Girls High. Okay, Girls High became Ben Franklin, And, but Miss Spencer has been over at Benjamin Franklin kind of hijacking the music department over there because, they don't want to do any music in the public schools here in San Francisco. And Miss Spencer had to go over there and shake a tail feather and say, hey, you know what? We're going to do some music over here. So, tell them a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, over at Gateway, I'm starting a music program, so make sure you send your kids over there because we're starting the music, keeping the music alive with the young people over at Gateway High. So it used to be formerly the Ben Franklin. So come on over and send your kids over there because we need some good singers, some good instrumentalists, some good people. So send your kids to Gateway.
All right. Yes, because I know y'all got them. Yeah, don't be trying to fake it out on me now. I know y'all got some kids that could be doing some singing and dancing around here. I mean, people say, and this, you guys have to forgive me for saying it, but they say black people don't make anything. Black people don't, we don't make anything that we can make any money off of. Do you realize how much culture we export around this planet and how much money is made? This is the greatest export that the United States has is the music, song, and dance that the African American community presents to the rest of the world and influences it with. So I just want to say that if you have some little manufacturers out there, by all means, you know, put them to work. Just one more thing. We have in the House one of the many dignitaries, but this dignitary is worth our attention here for a few minutes. We have a supervisor in the 5th District who's now running for sheriff of San Francisco. And I would love for you all to give him a big round of applause and give him your vote as he comes to the podium to present Mr. Ross, Supervisor Ross Karimi.
Like you, I want to hear the music, so I'm going to be very quick. First of all, I want to thank Adrian and the Village Project for really helping make a senior moment happen here at Yoshi's, and thank you for just the fabulous turnout to our beloved district, District 5, here in the Fillmore. But I don't want to lose sight of the fact that tonight is about recognizing 3 leaders, 3 major advocates on behalf of the senior community, but also as a member of the Board of Supervisors for 7 years in a community that is host to a very increasingly sized senior population. I don't want this message to get lost on this particular night of celebration. The fastest growing population in San Francisco is a population over the age of 55. And sitting in City Hall, you cannot help asking the question, are we ready? Are we ready as a society? Are we ready as a city? And as a city that really likes to think of itself is an enlightened, forward-thinking city, at least through Fox News, that's what they say, that I believe we have to step up our game in preparing and sort of embracing some realities. And that is helping those that as they age and people as they want to really make San Francisco their home in their senior years, a smart city will build an infrastructure that recognizes that particular reality. And when I see the level of activism in a community like ours here in the Fillmore, that's something that cannot go unnoticed. So as a small perk of being a supervisor, I'm honored to be able to bestow various commemorations on people who've done incredible work. And this is for Betty J. Hammond. So in recognition of your passionate advocacy and working with Black Children Adoption Program, for your tireless efforts supporting senior citizens in the Western District Fillmore, and your continued involvement in many organizations that promote the health and well-being of the African American community in San Francisco, the Board of Supervisors of the City and County of San Francisco extend the highest commendation. Thank you very much.
Photo.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Thank you very much.
All right. So we're going to get to the presentations because Lady Memphis is ready to perform for us. Hello. All right. Hello. What happened? Oh. But I wanted to tell you all a little bit about Miss Betty. When I decided to do this, it was simply going to be, I was very selfish. I wanted to have a party without teeny boppers. Then I got to thinking, okay, maybe I should honor some of the people who have helped me along the way. And years ago, when I had to drop out, so to speak, to raise my grandbaby, I met Miss Betty Hammond over at Queen Ada's. And my little grandbaby became their little mascot. And we advocated for the seniors. We hung out in Sacramento advocating for the seniors. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about Miss Betty. Miss Betty was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, my home state. I'm from Monroe. She was the youngest of 3 children. She moved to and graduated high school in New Orleans, and then she relocated to San Francisco to pursue her college degree at San Francisco State, and later obtained her master's degree from Lone Mountain College in social science. After just 1 year, she gained her master's degree. I think that's amazing. She also acquired her California Community College instructor credentials. She was the first African-American administrator of the California College of Podiatric Medicine. She was later employed by the San Francisco Urban League. Whatever happened to the Urban League?
Yeah, what happened?
It's still going on? Yeah, I was active in Chicago with everything. Okay. With the Urban League, excuse me for digressing, I tend to do that. As a social worker for Black Children Adoption Program. She was the Grand Secretary for Queen Ada Grand Chapter and Director of Social Services at the Western Addition Senior Citizen Center for 18 years. She retired on June 30th, 2011. Ms. Hammond has served on numerous community boards and committees, including the American Cancer Society, Educational Advisory Committee. She was the branch secretary for the San Francisco chapter of the NAACP, San Francisco Redevelopment Agency, and 3 terms as a board member of the King Garvey Cooperative Housing. She served as president, treasurer, and secretary. She also served as editor of the newspaper for San Francisco Family Service Agency. Ms. Hammond intends to become more active in the community, in her church, which is Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church, and now that she is retired. So, I'd like to present, and I made all this up myself. Okay. Miss Betty, please come up. I love Miss Betty. I saw Miss Betty dresses to kill. She's my inspiration. Miss Betty is sharp as a tack. Every time I see her, I love Miss Betty. I saw Miss Betty in jeans the other day, and I said, Miss Betty, I've never seen you casual in my life, okay? But in honor of Miss Betty Hammond, and I did spell it correctly this time, a senior moment, dancing down memory lane, we commemorate more than 18 years of dedicated service to seniors in the Western Addition of San Francisco. We honor you for your advocacy on behalf of the elders of our village. From the Village Project in the Bayview Line. Thank you, Ms. Okay, we're going to move this right along. One of my favorite people, I remember when I first saw Miss Espanola over in the Bayview, and occasionally I hang out in the Bayview. I was so inspired by her. And then I saw her again downtown at the Board of Supervisors. I said, I want to be like Miss Espanola when I grow up. Because Miss Espanola speaks her mind, but I want to tell you a little bit about Miss Espanola. Who is Miss Espanola Jackson? Well, she was born in Houston, Texas, and she came to San Francisco with her parents in 1943, and she lived on Geary and Lyons in the Fillmore. Thank you. I got Northwestern education every time. Anywho, in 1948, the family moved to segregated public housing in Bayview Hunters Point at a time when blacks and whites could not live next door to each other. In 1954, public housing law changed all that. Ms. Jackson has come a long way. In May of 2009, she kicked off the Green Revolution in Hunters Point by having solar panels installed on her home, going green and providing jobs for resident workers in her neighborhood. When asked how she started on the road of activism, she proudly announces her mentor was Miss Lizzy Westbrook. I admired what she was doing in Bayview and wanted to be like her. Footprints, I love them, because I want to be like you. Anyway, wait a minute. She went on to say Miss Westbrook fought for Double Rock residents about to be evicted from their homes. She fought what she believed in. She was the Moses of the 60s. Adding, I consider myself Ezekiel of the day, a watchman for my community, listening to what my people are saying, letting people know what God said. Many are called, but few are chosen. There are many who have chosen themselves. Espanola Jackson has represented the Bayview Hunters Point, Visitation Valley, and many entities along the 3rd Street corridor and all over the city and county of San Francisco, helping her grassroots constituency over decades. Since 1966, she has been fighting for welfare rights, where she took the stand to unite families. She took the lead to change the health and Restitutions Code so that fathers could return to families that were receiving aid. That's very important. My mom did the same thing in Louisiana. Hello. She has served on several committees linked to various organizations that serve the city and county of San Francisco. She served on the San Francisco Redevelopment Joint Housing Committee and continues to fight for affordable housing. Ms. Espanola Jackson was instrumental in building the Southeast Community Facility. I saw your picture on that mural. One of the largest San Francisco City College branches. She continues to fight for educational and training opportunities for children and adults in District 10. Ms. Jackson was a member of the San Francisco Jewish Committee and the Conference on Religion, Race, and Social Concerns. She has worked as an outreach worker for seniors, served on the Model Cities Health and Welfare Task Force, and helped form the California Association for Health, Education, Employment, and Dignity. Ms. Espanola has worked with the first people of the Bay Area. Thank you. Hello. Thank you. Where am I? That sort of threw me off. She understands the issues linked to the Presidio of San Francisco. And for decades, she has participated in many of the most important issues facing the city and county of San Francisco. She enjoys the greatest of grassroots support and has an independent mind. She applies herself and gets stuff done. So, Ms. Espanola, I bring you Ms. Espanola Jackson. I'm missing my hat tonight, but she's my inspiration for hat-wearing sisters, okay? Okay. So in honor of Ms. Espanola Jackson, we commemorate more than 50 years of dedicated service to social, political, and environmental causes that have impacted all of the communities of San Francisco. We honor you for your strength in standing up and speaking truth to power. That's what I like about it. Hello. That's how I saw her hanging out at the board of supervisors and advocating for the voiceless and disadvantaged in our city. Thank you so much, Ms. Jackson. We're ready for the dance. Okay, so now we come to Ms. Westbrook. And as I said, in the process of planning this, I called Ms. Espanola, and she was the one to suggest that I honor Ms. Westbrook. I didn't have the privilege of knowing Ms. Westbrook, nor had I ever heard her name until that week. And so, but then when I read about who she was and what she did for this city, and the aggressiveness and the caring that she had for the homeless. So I'll just read you a little bit about her, because we do want to move on with the program. Ms. Westbrook was a native of Gainesville, Texas, and she was born April the 20th in 1915. She lived in South of Market, also in the Western Addition, I heard. And she did a lot of advocating for affordable housing and health care for the residents of Bayview, Hunters Point, Soma, and other parts of the city of San Francisco. In 1973, she led a delegation to Washington, D.C. to get federal funds to build homes in Bayview, Hunters Point. Her efforts got $30 million in federal funds to build housing in that area. I can't get a penny. Ross, where are you? Okay. Along with housing, she's also advocated for accessible health care. She was the founder of the National Association of Health Centers. She and others were responsible for federal funding to open 3 community clinics in San Francisco. In June 2011, the Westbrook Plaza Health Center and Housing Complex in South of Market neighborhood was named in her honor. And she's had many, many other honors, and I will just tell you a few. She was the president of the San Francisco Housing Authority Commission, the Bayview Joint Housing Commission. She was a member of the Mayor's Committee for Community Development, the Golden Gate Transportation, the NAACP, And it goes on and on and on. So today we would like to honor Ms. Westbrook. I'm not sure of exactly when she expired, but it was about 2 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago. So I want to acknowledge all that she has done for the city of San Francisco, and I was hoping some of her family members, but I'm going to ask Ms. Espanola to take her award. And this is what I said, because this is how I felt when I read all that she had done. To Ms. Lizzy Westbrook, April the 20th, 1915 to September the 13th, 2011. We commemorate more than 60 years of tenacious advocacy for affordable housing and accessible health care for all. You have left footprints for all of us to follow. The Village Project, the Bayview Life.
I would just like to say that if it had not been for Lizzy Westbrook, I wouldn't be standing here today. I'm following in her footsteps. She was a strong black woman. Never took no for an answer from anyone. And always stood tall. An uneducated woman. And I let people know you do not have to have a PhD to work and fight for your community. Thank you very much.
But we lost my mom on July the 11th. And one of the reasons that I do what I do is because of my mom. My mom, and when you say strong and just a motivator, I mean, whenever times get hard for me, I think of my mom. My mom left Chicago, this big city woman, because she didn't think Chicago was good enough for us. And she sent us down south, so we were away from her for 2 years. And then she came to Monroe, and I remember my mother being so miserable in Monroe. So miserable, she couldn't, and one of the things she also, I miss the sound of traffic. We were in this little tiny town, and Mama was a city girl. But my mom also was very, very aggressive. And she skipped to her own beat. We were the only black Episcopalians in Monroe. Now, if you think that's traumatizing, and I wish Father Will was here. He said he was coming, because I'm going to tell this story. Mom came from Chicago when she was an Episcopalian. Get over here, Peggy, my sister Peggy. Mom came, because I don't know if they even know this. Mom came from Chicago, so you know how they send messages down south. We got a new parishioner. Welcome her. So Mama breathes us down, do our hair up, and put on our little finery. And she had 6 kids at that time. We're going to march into Grace Episcopal Church. It's a beautiful church. And I'll never forget. We walked in there, and then the congregation, they did the little thing, welcome, welcome, the new thing. And then they turned around, they saw these little black folks, they said, and they let us stay. I can't recall them putting us out. But they let us stay. So when I get to Northwestern, they said, what faith are you? I said, I'm Episcopalian. We had our own chapel. They wouldn't let us come to Grace Cathedral. They built us a church. So the Williams family were the only members. Father Marshall would go to the white church and preach, and then he'd come and pick us up and take us to our little chapter. But Mama had 5 girls and 1 boy, so we were all the girls. Okay? And then Mama... Then this is the amazing part, and I want them to research. Mom comes up to us one day and she says, we're moving to New Orleans because I'm getting married. And I'm saying, yay, 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 we'll have a dad, we'll have a dad. Who is going to be our dad, Mom? Father Marshall. Hello. And I was elated. My sister, you don't remember it. No, you weren't even born. So anywho, I was in 3rd grade, never forget this. My sister Dina was really upset. She didn't want to move and leave her friends, but I was prepared. We started packing. Honey, we never knew what happened to poor Father Marshall. Father Marshall disappeared from the planet of Earth. And in fact, I'm going to ask the Episcopal to search and find out what I bet he's in Timbuktu. We never heard from Father Marshall again. The next person we got was Father Davies, and he was married with a family. So, that's my story of being the only black Episcopalian. Then I get used to being an Episcopalian, and the next thing I know, Mom comes and tells me, you all can stay Episcopalian. I'm in 9th grade now. But I'm going to be a black Muslim. Here we go again. A what? A black Muslim. Okay? So needless to say, that I'm schizophrenic as hell when it comes to religion, okay? But also, my mom loved kids. My mom had 9 kids, but she took care, and I guess that's where I get, if you know me in the neighborhood, people ask me on a Sunday, where are the children? They're at home with their family. 10 o'clock in the morning, where are the children? They're at school. I'm always followed by children because I feel that society owes these babies. We're supposed to take care of our young. Even animals take care of their babies. And we know this society does not do a good job of taking care of babies and the elders. One more story about my mom. A little boy, I can't even remember his name, little dirty little thing. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. Used to come by, and Mama would feed him, and then, you know, and I think his mom was an alcoholic or something. Anyway, I remember this little baby coming by all the time, and then Mama said, okay, I fed you, now it's time to go home. Well, we would put him outside, and he'd stand up against the wall. And then we waited till Mama went to sleep and we let him back in. So then Mama found out about it and she reprimanded us. But what she did, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, she took a dresser drawer and she put a pillow in it. And that's where that little baby slept. So that's the kind of mom I had. My mom changed legislation when he would belong in the state of Louisiana because at that time welfare mothers couldn't be in love. What was that about? So she changed, she aggressively, she wrote him, persisted, and changed that law. And then in 1986, I'll never forget, I am at my office and Mom Dina called me and said, guess what? Mom is running for Congress. I said, that's good. What's Congress? Not Congress, not with all our skeletons. Oh, no. Mom was bodacious enough to run against Ron Dellums. Got 35% of the vote. That's my mom. So I wanted to and so we lost her July 11th after 5 years of fighting Alzheimer's. And so I wanted my sisters to be here to let them know how much I love my mom, how much I know you love my mom. And we've lost 2 sisters and a mom. And so we should be closer together, and I'm going to strive to be closer to my family, closer, because you never know. So, you all can fight over this. Mom, we will always remember your love and your devotion to all of your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, and the children of others. This legacy of love and devotion will inspire us forever and have motivated many. That's my mom. Thank you. Okay, and without further ado, we're gonna
Get this party started.
hello, Lady Memphis. Hello. Sorry, Lady Memphis, we're behind on schedule.
How's everybody doing? All right. Well, you're back. Good. You and I, sea and sky, and you and I know all shades, all hues, all blues. Some blues are sad, some are glad, happy, sad, glad, they're all shades, all hues, all feeling so sad, all you, all blue. Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. Bad luck and trouble. Oh, I've had my share. smiling at me. Nothing but blue sky do I see. Two birds singing a song. Nothing but blue birds from now on. I never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love. Oh, my, how time flies. Blue sky from now on.
Next year, I will be at the next one and the next one, and people that missed it, they should come the next time they're having it here, because this is a great idea. This is one of the greatest drummers in San Francisco.
Yes, my name is Rene Gonsalves, and I am glad to have attended this function tonight. I think it was a wonderful experience and a good way to recognize our seniors and some of our community workers and leaders who have devoted their entire lives to our city and to our people. And it's a wonderful experience to have been here tonight. It was a beautiful experience, and I hope we do it again. Thank you very much. And on behalf of Ms. Westbrook, we received this award and we present her. We will give it to her kids tonight. And thank you.
All right, y'all have a blessed night.
Thank you very much.